Namaste and welcome to another edition of Viewpoint. So the parliamentary sessions are going on and there's quite a heated topic on the constitution itself, with Rahul Gandhi, the leader of the opposition, actually saying that Veer Savarkar felt that the constitution had nothing Indian about it. This was of course countered by the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji, that in fact the constitution had been multiple times demeaned by the Congress party and the first family of the Congress party. So of course, an interesting development over here is Uddhav Thackeray, who is actually representing Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray, which is a part of the Congress's alliance in Maharashtra. He for once has actually said that people should stop politicizing on this Veer Savarkar and Nehru blaming each other, and in fact Veer Savarkar should be getting a Bharat Ratna. So what's happening? Why is Uddhav Thackeray actually taking a stance which the Congress is not for? What's going on? So to discuss on this, we have with us as usual Mr. Suresh Kochatil, a political researcher analyst. So Namaste ji.
Namaskar.
So you've been seeing what's going on in the parliament, you've been seeing what's going on in Maharashtra. We've seen Uddhav Thackeray has been increasing his approach and meeting out with the NDA alliance, the Mahayuti alliance in Maharashtra. So what actually is happening? Is Uddhav trying to get back to the NDA?
More than that, Savarkar, Veer Savarkar is a Maharashtrian icon. Of course, he is an Indian national icon, but a Maharashtrian icon. Those of us like me who have read his 2 volumes of Vikram Sampath's book on Veer Savarkar will know in depth that I think India has seen no other freedom fighter who suffered so much. There have been people who have martyred, who got various issues, who had fought the British various ways, from Netaji to Bhagat Singh to others, Chandrasekhar Azad, Rajguru, everybody. But it is Veer Savarkar who had solitary confinement. He was first arrested in UK. He was trying to be taken to India when he jumped off the ship at Marseille in France, tried to get an asylum there, which was kind of foiled by the British police who were following him. Then, of course, he was brought back to India, where he was tried. He was sent to the Kalapani at Andamans. We all know how he was confined there, how he was tortured there. I think no other human being would have survived that. I mean, if you really read Veer Savarkar's life, I think the government of India, at least the CBSE, should make an entire chapter on its history books on Veer Savarkar. Whatever said, and I mean, people have in fact, Veer Savarkar was against the caste system, for example, which was very deeply entrenched in Hindu system those days. Whatever said and done. He was against various issues which even the right wing today would find it abhorring. Okay, he was a kind of a different guy altogether, a different person altogether. Maybe he was quite ahead of his time, if you ask me. So the kind of suffering that he underwent, and then once he was released from there, he and his brother, both of them, they were he came back to Ratnagiri, where he was again kept under solitary confinement, house arrest. He was not allowed to move out. The British was so scared of him. Imagine Gandhi stayed in a 5-star hotel kind of atmosphere in a house. Nehru also had a bit of it in Almora, but apart from that, Nehru had his own time. Motilal Nehru, in fact, wrote to the British saying his son would not get involved in other activities, so please release him. He was released like that. But when it comes to Savarkar, Rahul Gandhi tries to change the history, much as he's trying to do with Babasaheb Ambedkar. We all know that Babasaheb Ambedkar quit Congress because of Nehru. And twice Congress defeated him, and he was so angry with Congress that he didn't even want anything to do with that party. But we'll keep Ambedkar debate for another day. Right now it's Savarkar. We all know that, the way Savarkar fought, he had a lot of elements in him. He was a brilliant man. If you read about his early days in Britain, where the famous India House is there located in London. In fact, even today when you go to India House, outside there's a plaque which says this is where Veer Savarkar stayed. I mean, imagine the British respected him for that. Now, when Rahul Gandhi says the British wrote a letter, he wrote a letter of apology to the Britishers. It was a tactic. The tactic was suggested by somebody called Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi.
To Veer Savarkar.
To Veer Savarkar and others, saying that you need to be out of the jail rather than in the jail.
So you're saying Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi actually acknowledged what Savarkar is doing?
Did. Why? Indira Gandhi did. She gave him money. She gave, I think, 10,000 rupees to the foundation, and she released a special stamp on him. She even wrote a letter, and Rahul Gandhi should read that letter that his grandmother wrote about Veer Savarkar. But that part of it in the history is forgotten. Our history books doesn't talk about Veer Savarkar at all. And the problem with Rahul Gandhi is he has selective memory. We all know that very well. When it came to Veer Savarkar, I remember about a year and a half ago when he first started pushing this idol saying, I'm not Veer Savarkar, I'm Rahul Gandhi. At that time, Sharad Pawar called and openly told him to stop that nonsense. So he stopped. In fact, he didn't even call Rahul Gandhi. He called up Sonia Gandhi and told her this boy has to stop this nonsense because he's an immature kid. You saw his behavior in parliament today, the way he pushed an MP who went and fell on another MP and got injured. He plays for the cameras. Remove the cameras and Rahul Gandhi is not there. Bharat Jodo Yatra or whatever it is. Without Bharat Jodo Yatra, without cameras, Rahul Gandhi wouldn't be there at all. Anyway, but the point of Savarkar is, I remember Savarkar very well, not because I met him or anything like that. There's no way I could have met him. He passed away long before that. But the main thing was that Savarkar's bust is placed in a very busy junction at the Kachiguda crossroads. I'm sure you would have observed it, where the Maheshwari, Parmeshwari theatres are there, at the Kachiguda crossroad. Yeah. There is a Savarkar bust. And in fact, when Modi ji was taking out a rally from RTC crossroads to another place in the city, one of his team members asked me, where should he stop? Final. So I suggested Savarkar. They said, Savarkar's bust in Hyderabad. Of all the places, I said, yes, it's there. And it's been there from my school days because I grew up in Kachiguda initially. I said, it's there. How come Savarkar's bust is there in Kachiguda? It's another big story. Because there's a huge Maharashtrian presence around Kachiguda area. In fact, Kachi means fish. The community, the Maharashtrian way of calling it Kachiguda. And that is because the Musi river flowed next to it and all the Maharashtrian big community was there, Koli community. And of course, we all know Chappal Bazaar. It's not Chappal Bazaar, it's Chapal Bazaar. So in Kachiguda. So anyway, Savarkar's issues flows from that. Why that bust there was very important? Because people of Maharashtra revere him. They feel that, Vinayak Savarkar was something different. He was a man made of real steel, if you can call it that way. Not to say that, our Iron Man Sardar Patel was any day less, but the man underwent so much of suffering for his country. He could have just apologized to the Britishers or said, forget it, I'm going to tell you everything that happened and I'm going to leave. He didn't do that. He fought the Britishers. Remember somebody jumping off a ship at Marseille into the ocean and trying to swim away. What kind of guts he would have had?
Correct.
This Rahul Gandhi doesn't even have 0.0005% of that guts. Yet he tries to demean this legend of a man. And that is why Sharad Pawar put him in his place first time. He kept quiet after that. He didn't utter a word about Savarkar during the Maharashtra elections. Because if he had done that, Congress would have got wiped out. Even now, the threat is very simple. Many of the Congress legislators may walk out of Congress because of Rahul Gandhi's kind of idiotic statements.
When it comes to this statement now, Uddhav Thackeray, like we know his father, Bhal Thackeray ji, he had a very strong Hindutva outlook. He had immense respect for Veer Savarkar. In fact, he was seen naturally against Congress. Now, his son Uddhav Thackeray ji, because of some political compulsions, he did get into the Maha Vikas Aghadi. He's along with them. Now, what is making him at this point, like when recently he's lost the Maharashtra elections, at this point, how is he actually coming for Veer Savarkar when he knows Rahul Gandhi is openly opposing it in the parliament? What is his approach? Is he trying to slowly move towards the NDA? Does he want to eventually come out of this, go into Mahayuti? What's actually happening there?
If you had seen the analysis, and I had done it on a number of news channels, the analysis of the Maharashtra elections, people said that it is because of the kind of scheme that was there for women, where they would get the Ladli scheme, where women would get a certain amount of money every month. That's all fine. That led to a 6% spike in the women voters and all. Great. But that wouldn't have been enough to wipe out, because that would have helped BJP or the Mahayuti alliance to come to power with a simple majority, 150 or 160 seats maximum. But the kind of 230 that you saw plus wouldn't have happened that way. It happened because Shiv Sena left its basic policy by the roadside. Right. It is Shiv Sena. It is not Rahul Sena, or it is not Ghori Sena or Babar Sena. Shiv Sena, and as you said, Bhal Thackeray was more Hindutva than even Vishwa Hindu Parishad or Bajrang Dal or RSS put together. He was not an apologist about it. He was very clear about his stance, that it is about Hinduism that he is there. He is to fight for Hindus, and he is very clear about it. But his son, Uddhav Thackeray, decided to move away. He started diluting the concept first. Then he started hobnobbing with the Islamists, openly supporting them, openly supporting their policies, openly supporting 10% reservation for Muslims during Maharashtra election. That entire thing backfired. Backfired so badly, not just the voters not voting for that party, but more importantly, they also went to the other side, which is basically the Shiv Sainiks. The Shiv Sainiks who are still with Uddhav Thackeray started to tell Uddhav, look, enough is enough. You have messed up the party. You have killed the party. You and your son have messed it up. It's time to get out of this alliance. If you stay independent, there's no issue. You don't even need to join the BJP. But stop hobnobbing with the Islamists.
No, do you think the advice is being taken seriously at this point right
There's
now?
no choice because Shiv Sena, like BJP, like the communist, are the cadre-based party. Mr. Shinde, the deputy chief minister now and former chief minister, was an auto rickshaw driver. Where in the world would you imagine somebody who was an auto rickshaw driver to come up and become the chief minister of a state? Where would you imagine somebody selling tea by the road in a railway station becoming a prime minister? This happens only in cadre-based parties. In a family-run private limited company like Rahul Gandhi's party, which is Sonia and Rahul Private Limited or even now Priyanka Private Limited, there the leadership is finally with the family. Whatever said and done, you might have somebody glorified like Mr. Kharge sitting there, but he's only a figurehead. He cannot even issue a B form. So what happens with Uddhav now is very simple. If he doesn't come back into the Hindutva fold, again, I'm not saying he should come into the Mahayuti may not even take him, okay? But he can stay independent. He can walk out of the alliance saying, because there are no elections now anyway, but there are some local elections coming up. There is BMC elections coming up. And Shiv Sena is very strong in Mumbai. Okay, even now, Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray are very strong. Whereas you see Shinde and group, they are more strong toward Thane and other areas. So the question is very simple is, one, Congress has lost, alliance lost miserably because of its anti-Hindu attitude. Congress had nothing to do because they were seen as anti-Hindu anyway. Sharad Pawar was seen a middle of nowhere, okay, pandering to the Islamist and, to his farmer community and all that. But it was Shiv Sena that took the maximum hit, which is why you see Shinde gained. Because he went back to the basics of Bal Thackeray and said, look, we are for Shiv Sena. Whereas you see Ajit Pawar, he didn't play with the BJP. He played a minority card. Katenge Batenge is not my slogan, he said, and he got the Muslim votes and he got it. So it's the best of both worlds for the Mahayuti alliance. But with Uddhav Thackeray, it is a question of survival now. He simply doesn't have a choice.
Now, Uddhav Thackeray, like it's well known that he's met the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis ji, and it seems he's actually said that it's about time now. You should go, you should appeal to the government, you should get Veer Savarkar, you need to get him a Bharat Ratna. Now, let's say if a Bharat Ratna is given and if a Bharat Ratna is not given, what kind of an impact does it have in Maharashtra politics itself, especially for Uddhav Thackeray?
Huge. Not for Uddhav Thackeray. It is for the person who gives it.
Okay.
It's going to be Modi at the end of the day.
Right.
It's going to be Narendra Modi because he was seen as a Gujarati giving a Bharat Ratna to a Maharashtrian. Because remember, initially Gujarat was not a state. It was carved out of Maharashtra. And Rahul Gandhi during the election kept saying that Gujaratis are running Mumbai. That is another reason why the entire Gujarati community in Maharashtra, especially in northern Maharashtra, voted en masse for BJP. And even within Mumbai proper. Because even today the financial capital of Mumbai is controlled by Gujaratis.
That is essentially because historically Gujarat was part of the Bombay province, right? So that's why the same people everywhere.
Same people everywhere. So why are you trying to play against other Rahul Gandhi? He made a blunder there. He spoke against Veer Savarkar earlier. So it was always there in people's mind. Now, if Veer Savarkar, technically, let us assume the Veer Savarkar Bharat Ratna is announced, say, a month from now, okay, or even before January 26th. The impact it will have is not just on Maharashtra, it will be also on Karnataka, to a large extent on what is now called northern Telangana, and also to a part in Gujarat and western Madhya Pradesh. These are the areas where Savarkar had a huge hold. Remember, Savarkar travelled extensively, he even came to Hyderabad those days. He was a fantastic speaker. Unfortunately, we didn't have television those days, but he was a fantastic, his books are legendary. Most of his books are in Marathi, that's the only problem. But they have been translated, they have been kind of made into different languages and that's available. And I have read extensively about it. I can go on hours and speak about entire thing about Savarkar as a personality. He's an enigma. Let's get it. These kind of people come once in a lifetime. If you put Mahatma Gandhi on one side, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, I wouldn't even call Mahatma, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi on one side, and Damodar Savarkar on the other side, Vinayak Damodar Savarkar on one side. I'm telling you, Savarkar will win hands down. In terms of its, put an independent panel and analyze their roles in the independence movement. Gandhi did nothing but split India into two. Savarkar was all for Akhand Bharat. Okay, he had his difference of opinion with the Hindutva elements those days. One of the original founders of the entire Hindutva concept was him only. Okay, so what is it that Congress is trying to do is to try to demean Hindus. And they pick up the icon of the Hindus, which is Savarkar, and try to demean him so that they can get at least 10 Muslim votes. But Congress hasn't learned its lesson from Maharashtra, nor has it lessons of losing Haryana, or even before that Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. They're losing state after state because of this anti-Hindu stance. And Savarkar is an icon in that. So Rahul Gandhi wants to hit the icon And Uddhav Thackeray has realized it's time to get out from that and get back. I think Modi, it will be a master stroke by Modi if he can give Savarkar the Bharat Ratna.
Final question, since you're mentioning about icons, would it actually be possible that earlier the main icon of Hindu forces was seen to be like Sri Rama? That is why a lot of the rhetoric in the parliament was about Ram Mandir, was majorly focused on that. But once the Mandir was done, then immediately now, is it like the focus is on Veer Savarkar because he's seen as the next potential target that they can attack at a narrative wise? Or do you think it's just a slip of tongue that Rahul Gandhi had in the parliament?
No, Rahul Gandhi keeps jumping hoops. He doesn't have one target in mind. One day it's Adani, next day it's Ambani, then it's Savarkar, then it's Ambedkar. He goes on and on, Modi, then Amit Shah. He doesn't have a focus. The problem is somebody gives him a piece of paper in the morning, he reads from that. He has no idea what it is. When he asked about icons, I'll tell you that initially Veer Savarkar modeled himself, or rather he was an admirer of Bal Gangadhar Tilak, the original gentleman who was kind of seen very passionate about Hindutva elements and all. In fact, many of the Savarkar movies made on Savarkar, you would see Bal Gangadhar Tilak's reference there.
Right.
The fact that he started the Ganesh Utsavs, what was the aim behind it was to bring Hindus together.
Correct.
Inculcate a spirit of nationalism.
Yeah.
Okay. What did Savarkar do? He went a step further from that. Savarkar was great in writing, I think great in speaking. And the torture which he underwent in Kalapani, and there Manishankar Iyer goes and removes his plaque from there. Of course, it was put back later by the Modi government. I think it was an insult upon insult on Savarkar by the Congress over a period of time. It is an insult that even after 75 years, we still haven't recognized the true son of Bharat Mata, which is Vinayak Savarkar.
Thank you so much, Sureshji, for your valuable insights. So you heard the entire discussion about what's happening in Maharashtra politics, connected at a center level, as well as what's going on regarding the Veer Savarkar controversy. What are your thoughts on this? Please comment below. We'll catch up again. Namaste and Jai Hind.